You have joined the call. There are 4 other people in the call. Your camera is on. Your microphone is on. Your app.
Good evening, sir. Should we start or should we wait for some more people to join?
You can start, ma'am.
We can start because we have another 5 o'clock. There is one more program, one more class, I suppose.
You can start, ma'am.
Okay. I'll share my PPT. So this Google Meet, we always have problem with sharing the PPT, sir. Is my slide visible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it in slideshow?
Slide is visible, but it's not moving.
Now?
No, ma'am. Slide is still visible, but it's not moving.
Okay. We have always problem with this. Google Meet is not good. Zoom is better for us. Now?
Slide is visible, ma'am.
It's visible?
Yes,
Slide
ma'am.
is visible, ma'am. Yeah, now it's moving. Ma'am, please change one more.
Now?
Now it's not moving.
Anyway, if I put in the slideshow, it won't move. I'll keep it in this mode only. Now it's moving, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just put it in this mode only and start. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah. Well, today I think this is a series of class. I'll be talking of categories of waste. Let me start with this. I think we all are aware of biomedical waste as a cause of concern, and we need to look at. And COVID has underlined the importance of waste management, right? Well, if you remember, 1998 we had some rules, okay, but in 2016 we have a new set of rules concentrating on biomedical waste management. Do you all agree with me this statement like biomedical waste management is an occupational safety issue? Yes. I want interaction so that it will be interactive. Hello? Am I
Yes,
audible?
ma'am.
Yeah. Because it's going to affect us, right? Directly as a healthcare
Yes, ma'am.
providers. And next is that it's an environmental safety issue because if you do not manage it properly, it may affect the environment in terms of air pollution, soil pollution, and water pollution as well. And definitely, it's a patient safety issue. If a person has come with HIV, we should not give him some. If he's come for some surgery, we should not give him a gift of HIV or hepatitis B. And more importantly, attitudinal issue because we always feel this is not our job. Okay. Now, what do you understand by waste? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by waste as such?
वेस्ट जो किसी भी प्रोसीजर से या डायग्नोस्टिक पर्पस ट्रीटमेंट पर्पस से जनरेट होता है दैट इज बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट.
Okay. What can be waste for you can be a resource for me. For example, if I throw a plastic, a rack picker can pick up a plastic and make a living of it out of it. So we say that waste is a item which is not of immediate use for the immediate owner. It's also referred to as a resource in the wrong place. In essence, the definition of waste is subjective, and what is waste to one may not be waste to another. Okay. Now let me go into the thing. What percentage of, I know you are, I already told you, healthcare waste can affect everyone, right? From doctors, patients, and also common man. It can cause environment pollution as well as, and also it can affect even the animals. We have seen many instances where we have seen the cow pouch has lot of plastics because we are discarding plastic everywhere, right? Now, can anyone tell me what percentage of our hospital waste is infectious waste? Out of 100 kgs, if you take, what percentage is infectious waste?
Ma'am, 10 percentage.
Good. It's about just 15 to 20%. Okay. So all waste generated from our healthcare waste is not biomedical waste. Okay. We call healthcare waste and biomedical waste synonymously. Both healthcare waste is an international terminology. Biomedical waste is, as per our rules, we define biomedical waste as an healthcare waste. Okay. It needs to be separated from our general waste. Okay. So this I told already, it's emphasized. So we must safely dispose the waste. So if you look at biomedical waste management rules has come because we need to be governed by that, so that it is taken care of with much more seriousness. Now this biomedical waste management rules 2016 was implemented in 2016 and further amended in 2018 and 2019. This applies to all healthcare facilities. Probably you will have a class on biomedical waste rules, which they will elaborate further. Okay. So here, biomedical waste management rules prescribes us color-coded segregation, treatment, and final disposal. Now, I think you must have heard of all these 4 R's, right? These are some of the basic principles of waste management: reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. Can you give an example of reduce waste? Can we reduce waste? Is it possible to reduce waste? Can we reduce waste in the hospital? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you give some example, 1 or 2 examples? See, if you properly purchasing the drugs and you do not use it very judiciously, you can reduce the generation of expired drugs, right? That is also one of the process of reducing waste. Or for cleaning some wound, we should not take very large amount of cotton. Okay, you can take small, whatever is appropriate, and then clean. Reuse. What do you mean by reuse and what do you mean by recycle waste? You heard this?
We,
Yeah, tell me, please.
there are various types of devices which can be used once or it can be used a number of times.
Yeah.
So
How
wherever
is it different from recycle?
the recycle means the is there are devices which can be once again used,
Yeah.
or the waste can be recycled into something else.
Yeah. So
And
reuse is using the same product in different, multiple times after, of course, decontamination and disinfection. Whereas recycle is using of one product after it's used into a different product altogether. Okay. For example, you have used syringes, and that after all the process, you can make it as a bucket or a box. Okay. That is recycle. Okay. Recover waste. Any examples? Recover waste we usually tell for silver recovery or mercury, recovery of mercury. All these precious metals will recover and then we take it out into the cycle of recovering it back into the use. Okay, now let's look at what are the cycle approach. So we need to systematically approach the biomedical waste. So we need to have policies in place, SOPs in place, monitoring and mechanisms in place, so that your system is completely in place. So if you look at, you start with segregation, disinfection, collection, transportation, storage, and then final treatment and disposal. In all this, you must keep in mind our worker safety is important, our patient safety is important, as well as our environmental safety. All these things have to be kept. So today I'll be concentrating on segregation aspect, which looks at categories of waste and color of waste. Actually, if you look at WHO classification, there is lot of categories, but I'll here concentrate on the categories of waste which we are separating it out as per biomedical waste rules and segregating it. So one of the primary, I think, the heart of biomedical waste management lies in segregate. So segregate, segregate, segregate. This is one of the key mantra for biomedical waste. Okay, especially segregation at the point of generation is very critical and very useful. Okay, so why do we need to segregate? Anyone can tell me why you want to segregate waste?
Yeah, it's in fact it is essential, and it is required at that site only where we are generating, because there are various types of waste.
Yes.
We can call human waste. We can call the plastic waste. We can call the infectious waste. We can call the glass metal waste. So they need to be separated, and they need to be discarded also appropriately.
Yes, very good. Thank you, sir. So segregation of the waste is the first and most critical component, and it simply means separating the waste into different type of categories. Now, why is this different categories? How are they determining these four categories? With our rules is basically based on the characteristic of the waste and its hazardousness and final treatment what it's going on. So our component of our segregation is based on the final treatment and disposal. They have kept in mind what will be the final treatment it goes into, and based on that we are going to take the action. So what are the advantages of segregation? As I was explaining, first of all, as I told, it's only 15 to 20% of the waste is infectious. So if we are going to separate this smaller fraction from the general waste, we can concentrate on managing only this 15 to 20%. So it reduces the quantum of infectious waste and thereby prevents infections also. And it helps us to safely dispose this waste which is very infectious or hazardous. And thereby it reduces the cost. What happens? If you mix all the waste, you'll almost have 100 kgs of waste instead of 20 kgs. So you have to put in efforts to treat all these 100 kgs of waste, which will incur more cost. So if you can separate this 20% from 100%, we can reduce the cost of waste management in terms of biomedical waste. And it improves the cleanliness of your hospital, and it will reduce the chance of infections and minimize the contact, and also it will help us to be compliant with our law of our country, and further it will reduce the environmental impact. And I think you all have seen these symbols in our hospitals. Biohazard symbol, which is very important, that all our bins and liners should have these biohazard symbols, and it should be more than 50 microns. And why do we have color coded system? You already answered. Basically, this is to make it simplified for all the healthcare workers, especially even for the including the class 4 employees, to know that if I say I put something into yellow, it's going to be burned. In our current system, most of the time, most of the facilities are connected to the incinerator, so yellow color waste is going to go in for burning. So I should know what waste can be burned. Red waste, predominantly plastic. White, metallic sharps. Blue, glass. So this color coding will help us to understand what waste should go into, and also this will be the starting point for us to continue our waste cycle journey till its final treatment and journey. So our segregation should start from beginning till the disposal. The color coding should be continued so that there is no mixing of waste anywhere along the pathway of the waste management cycle. Okay. Now let's look at the color coding. I think as we are told, there are four categories: yellow, red, blue, and white. For general waste, we have usually blue or green in some hospitals for wet and dry waste, and some hospitals follow black. In fact, there is no uniform code as such prescribed. It's prescribed but not as a rules. So each of the hospitals follow what they are getting the supply of the bins, covers, or whatever it is. So it's up to the hospital to adapt whether you want to separate the blue and green waste for wet and dry waste, or black also for general waste. So yellow category of waste, we have human anatomical waste, soil waste, laboratory waste, biotechnology waste, expired chemical, liquid waste, cytotoxic. All these are categories. I have separated two important things. Here, the ones the on top of them, they're all infectious waste, and these are kind of non-infectious waste. Of course, liquid waste is infectious. Here it goes into bins, here it goes into different containers, and especially infectious waste should not be stored in the premises for beyond 48 hours. Okay, and expired drugs and chemical waste and cytotoxic are also labeled as yellow color waste because they need some special category and they need to be actually burned. All of us must remember, this yellow color waste is for burning. Okay, so all the yellow color waste will go in for eye level incineration, not the plain burning. It is the eye level incineration, which is having two levels of burning, one at 800 plus or minus 50 degrees first chamber. In the second chamber it goes up to 1150 1100 and plus degrees temperatures. So that is the things. Now let us look at some of the examples of yellow color waste which goes. Human anatomical waste, can you give some examples? Any amputated body parts. Animal anatomical waste, animal experiment. This has come down drastically, especially because in our medical field, maybe in veterinary science, yes, we'll have animal anatomical waste. Placenta, fetus less than viable period, and this has to be certified by the MTP as per the MS of the hospital. And this all goes in the non-chlorinated yellow plastic bags, which are more than 50 microns. The plastic bags or the liners what we use should be more than 50 microns. Okay. At any point, if you have any doubts, please you can stop me and ask me. Okay. Second, soil waste. These are any visibly contaminated blood and body fluids like plaster, cotton swab, head caps, scars, face marks, shoe covers. And remember, all this must be non-plastics. Okay. Plastics, most of us in our country have chlorinated most of it are chlorinated, and that should not go into yellow color because it can release toxic chemicals like dioxins and furans, which are very harmful to our organs. They're called as dirty dozens or persistent organic pollutants because these dioxins and furans water come out of the plastics. This is not plastic just of hospitals. Even in our day-to-day hospital waste, we use lot of plastics, right? If those chlorinated plastics are burned, they can release dioxins and furans, which are very toxic to our environment and us because they're called as persistent organic pollutants. That means they persist throughout. They do not degenerate or they do not decompose. They continue to stay in the environment for over the years, over the decade, and they are consistent pollutants. What is released from Bangalore can reach America, and what is released in America can come reach here. Okay, that is the severity of plastic burning. So we do not recommend plastic burning. Next, other yellow color waste which is going is discarded linen, mattresses, and beddings which are contaminated with body fluids. Though not, we will not put it in the yellow bags because these are very huge. We at least tag a yellow tag and then send it to the common treatment facility. Next important category of waste which are essentials are blood bags, vaccines, and lab cultures. These are the special type of waste which needs to be pre-treated. That means even if you are handing over to the common treatment facility, you must pre-treat. You can either autoclave, hydroclave, or microwave and then hand over to the biomedical waste. Okay. So these are the all this lab waste and blood bags include go to the yellow colored waste. So finally, what happens to this yellow colored waste? We are discussed this. They are go for incineration in common treatment facilities. Those places where there is no common treatment facility, some of the states like Orissa still are not well connected with the common treatment facilities. There they go in for deep burial. Okay. So this is about yellow color category waste. Now we have special categories. I told expired drugs, and one more is a cytotoxic drugs. Expired and discarded drugs will go into yellow. Similarly, cytotoxics also will go to yellow, but cytotoxic drugs all will go into a bin which contains C symbol. It's a special symbol because it's an alert that it's a cytotoxic symbol. It requires special treatment. So what will happen to this? Either you must return to the manufacturer or send it to the common treatment facility or hazardous waste treatment facility where they will be further managed. Liquid waste is a special one. Here will not be collected in container, but it requires to be handled. Silver X-ray filaments will use it for silver nitrate recycling unit and will extract the silver. If it is infected solutions, we must all pre-treat with the appropriate chemicals or autoclave and then leave it to the ETP or STP. And acids and alkalis have to be neutralized as in depending on the content. So this is about yellow. Any doubts in the yellow category of waste?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Next, coming to the red. Red, remember there are two things which goes into that. It's basically recyclable waste. R for red, red recyclable. This is basically for all plastic type of waste and all rubber materials. Okay, rubber materials I am referring here especially to gloves. Gloves should go into red. So, what are the examples of red colored waste? Catheters, urine bags, vacuotiners. Here we have a confusion of vacuotiners. Remember, vacuotiners is a lab waste basically. It has to be pre-treated only when it is sure you can put it into red. Or most of the time, because of confusion, they are putting red vacuotiners into yellow only. But we must see to that the plastics what is supplied is non-chlorinated. Then IV bottle, gloves, syringes without needle. If the needles are cut, then the syringes can come into red. So what will happen?
Ma'am,
Yes, yes.
ma- ma'am, if vacutainer is with the blood, if after sampling, if we have to discard it, then also we have to put in red
Okay,
with.
with blood, without blood, it can't be there. It is with blood only. So what? This is always a gray area. Anyway, what I suggest is in the guidelines they have put it as put it in yellow only, autoclave, and then put it into yellow. Yellow.
Okay.
Okay, we have a always different viewpoint with CPCB. It's still not clarified, so we'll keep it as yellow only because it's a lab based. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Then white, all metallic waste shafts. Glass shafts won't go here. Okay. Only metallic shafts like your scalpels, suture blades, needles, and syringes with fixed needle. For example, you have your insulin syringes with needles not cut, right? You are not able to separate it completely. Then you will put it directly into the white puncture-proof container, which is called as white translucent, tamper-proof, leak-proof, and puncture-proof containers. So this can be kept in the your workstations till it fills two-third or three-fourth. You keep it and then screw it, complete, close it, and hand it over completely, and replace the whole container. It is not emptying and all those kind of things. So what will happen to sharp waste? Did I say about recyclable waste? Recyclable waste, what will they do at CTF is they will autoclave, then shred it, and then send it to the recycling industries. Again, this recycling industry should be recognized by the Pollution Control Board. Sharps, what they do is again autoclave, shredding, or mutilation, or mix with cement and keep it in concrete, or in a what to say sharp pit, or in a metal container. So we do not have a solution for sharp. We are just keeping it safely. That's all. Disinfecting, autoclaving, and then keeping it in safely. Next, coming to the blue category. This is for broken and discarded glasswares and metallic implants. You must ask why this metallic implants is coming here, because these are big metallic implants which you use in orthopedics department. How they can separate is they can separate out using the magnet and they can send it to recycling. Here in blue, what goes again? I was telling ampules, vials, okay, all glass material will go into the container which is blue color, which is having blue marking. Before there was a cardboard box, it's been amended now. It is a blue container with which is puncture proof and leak proof. So again, what happens to this blue container in the CTF? This also undergoes a process of autoclaving, then shredding, and then recycling. Now you can see two things here. Blue and red both are the same process in the CTF: autoclaving, shredding, and recycling. Even here also autoclaving, shredding, and recycling. Okay. So then why are we separating it? Why don't we mix together and send? Can anyone give me an answer?
The temperature, I think, for means recycling, it will be different.
Okay. I don't know about the temperature. Autoclave process are same, shredding is same, but the recycling industries are different. So if you are going to send it to them separately, it will be difficult to separate it and send it. Okay. The glass recycling industry is different, but plastic recycling industry is separate. So if that's the reason, we are separating it out in the initial phase only and seeing to that the waste is going in a chain of events. That is the process. That is the way. That is the reason we have four categories. Is this clear?
Yes.
To summarize, we have. I'll just go to the last slide. 1 minute. So summarize, we have yellow category, red category, white and blue category. So yellow we have all that which goes for burning. Okay, and red is all plastics and rubber which is going for recycling. White is sharp metal sharps. Blue is for glass, metallic and glass and metabolic implants. Is this clear?
ओके मैम। मैम एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा।
Yeah.
मैम जो शुगर स्ट्रिप्स होती हैं वो
हाँ.
प्रॉपर किस बेन में डिस्कार्ड होंगी? शुगर स्ट्रिप्स की जो एक लेंसेट होता है और एक शुगर स्ट्रिप होता है।
That's what is the material?
इट्स प्लास्टिक।
So put it into red. It's okay. Okay. See,
Okay,
there
okay,
are
ma'am.
some gray areas which we don't have very clear cut answers. Okay, that's where we will discuss one. Now, can you see the slide?
Yes.
What are you seeing?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is time for exercise.
Now I moved on to the next slide. Is it not visible? Okay, I'll go back to the same thing. Okay, now I'll give you some examples. Now it's exercise time. Let's see how much you have understood. A placenta, which color coded bins it will go into?
Yellow.
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 Okay, mask.
Yellow.
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 Mask is yellow. Okay, good. I'm actually not able to put the slideshow. That's why I'm not able to put. Then next is glass bottles. Expired drugs.
No.
Expired drugs.
Expiry drugs
For
yellow.
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 Glass
If it's
bottles
empty
in,
glass bottles, if it's empty glass bottles, you put it into blue. Okay, it can go for recycling. This empty bottle will not have put here. Okay, then culture plates.
Culture plates will go to yellow, ma'am.
Correct. Then needles.
Needles.
White.
White.
are
White.
White. Then IV syringe set.
Red.
Red.
Again
Red.
here, needles should be separated.
Yeah.
This
In
White.
container container.
going to white. Wooden spatula used for tongue as used as tongue depressor.
Yellow.
Yellow. Good. Shoe covers.
Yellow.
Yellow.
Again, this
Yellow.
I request you to see which when in your hospital what is the material they use. Okay, if some hospitals use plastic materials, if they're using plastic materials, put it into red. If it is non-plastic material, put it into yellow. Okay, then this things insulin syringe.
Red.
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 Okay, with blood bags.
Without needle.
Without needle.
Blood
Blood
bags
Bags
in yellow.
in yellow.
But you must autoclave. Okay, autoclave and then they start, not directly. Okay, then IV bottle.
Ma'am in
Red.
blue.
Plastic. It's red.
No, it's red. Okay, red na.
Yeah, red.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Yeah.
recycling na.
Cytotoxic waste.
Cytotoxic is the in
Yellow.
yellow, ma'am. It should be labeled as C.
C symbol.
With
Okay.
C symbol.
Then implanted
Blue.
material. Blue.
Ma'am in blue.
Okay. Then glass slide.
White.
Not white. It's blue.
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 It's blue.
Blue is
Okay, okay. Yes, ma'am. Blue.
Blue. Especially we'll have glass slides, especially for smear or blood smear or sputum smear. No, those things should be chemically treated and then put it into blue. For example, sputum samples and all, you can put it in phenol overnight and then empty into blue. And Eurosac bag.
Sorry, ma'am.
Red.
Can you please
Sorry, ma'am.
repeat it?
Urine bags. Urine bags.
Urine bags.
Urine
red.
bags.
Red.
Empty करके red.
Plastic.
Urine should be emptied to ETP and this
This
bag
bag
can go into red. Again, this cytotoxic waste.
Yellow.
Yellow with
Vaccine.
green.
Vaccine.
Vaccines also yellow, ma'am.
Vaccine, if leftover vaccine is there, it's yellow. If you have lot of immunization waste, right, empty vials, that can go into blue.
Yeah.
Okay, if it's empty, let it go to blue. It's a glass basically, right? You don't have any chemicals or any vaccines in it. Now POP, plaster of Paris cast.
Ma'am yellow.
Plaster yellow में.
Ma'am yellow.
Yes.
Yellow.
Blade,
Blade
sir.
white.
broken ampule,
Broken ampules
Plastic.
blue.
New container.
blue. Okay. Rice tube,
Rice
Red,
tube red.
Red.
red,
red. Then urine catheter,
urine
Yellow.
catheter
Red.
also.
Red.
No,
Red. Once empty.
मैम
Yeah,
रेड
red.
रेड रेड में
Red.
जाएगा रेड में.
gloves,
रेड.
Red.
cotton swab.
येलो.
yellow,
Yellow.
I have the pictures ready for you, so I'm not having questions. Glass.
ब्लू.
Blue.
blue.
This is old picture. Please excuse me on that. Okay, this caps, yellow.
Yellow.
येलो.
What
Yellow.
about this?
Black.
This should be
This is general waste. Even if it's empty plastic
Normal
one,
dustbin जो भी अपन use करते हैं.
you can use it for some other purpose, or you can discard it as a general waste. Linen is
मैम
yellow.
should
येलो.
be tied with a
Can I have some
yellow.
questions?
यस मैम आई हैव. मैम इट्स सिरप्स के जो प्लास्टिक होता है वो किस में जाएगा? जैसे कोई सिरप है, पेशेंट के पास सिरप है, तो वो बायोमेडिकल में
Louder,
जाएगा या
louder, please.
जनरल वेस्ट में
Louder,
जाएगा?
please.
हेलो
Yeah, please louder.
मैम, जैसे सिरप होते हैं लाइक जो भी कोई भी सिरप्स हैं जो पेशेंट्स के पास हैं वो किस में डिस्कार्ड होगा? कौन से बीन में?
Which one is you talking of?
मैम
सिरप
प्लास्टिक
पूछ रहे हैं मैम कोई.
She's talking about leftover
Pediatric
syrup.
syrup.
Say cup syrup.
कब सिरप का
सिरप
बोतल.
लाइक कप सिरप का जो बॉटल है वो किस में जाएगा?
Cough syrup, empty ones, you know. Empty ones, plastic means
Yeah.
you put it into red.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
No, actually, you can put it in general waste, or you can put it into plastic or into the glass means to the blue, so that it at least goes to recycling industry.
ओके मैम.
Though it is not contaminated, okay?
ओके.
Technically, it is not biomedical waste because it is not directly contaminated. But instead of throwing to general waste, there it gets glass one will break and cause this thing. At least it goes into recycling process.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Like you have, you said the infectious waste. It should be treated. Say some infectious waste is treated with some certain chemical. How to discard that chemical?
Which type of infectious waste you are talking of, sir? Not
Any
all
infectious
infectious
waste?
waste we are not treating. No, not all infectious waste we are
No,
treating.
no, no. The infectious waste which are treated
Like,
with certain chemical. How to discard that waste?
sir, if it's a liquid waste, it has to go into ETP.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, and any chemically treated, especially with chlorinated chemicals, you should not put it in yellow.
Okay.
If you are putting chemically treated for some places, what they do is they don't have autoclave, lab waste and all chemically they can treat, but not use non-chlorinated chemicals, and then the contents can go into yellow.
Okay.
Okay. Then intact needle with syringe will go to white panchapur.
Right. Right.
And scalpel blade,
Blue.
white.
It is
White
metal.
में.
ma'am.
Metal.
Band-aid yellow.
ब्लेड्स मैम ब्लू में जाएंगे.
हाँ.
मैम जो लास्ट
नहीं.
स्लाइड थी उसमें ब्लेड वाइट
Which one?
में था
Whites
इसमें.
में जाएंगे.
This is
White,
metal.
white. Scalpel blade is white. Metallic waste है ना?
Syringe and scalp, that will go to white.
Intact syringe and needle, when you're not able to separate the whole needle. See, why we are putting it to white and not into the red means, if it goes to it, what will happen? It can puncture the red container, it can injure the person who is carrying the waste. At least it's going to the white container, it will be safe there. It is not going
Lalita ma'am, just a minute. Students,
मेटालिक साफ तो ब्लू में नहीं जाएगा.
just a minute. Listen, students. After completion of ma'am class, today another class, Dr. Sudhanshu will take. So after finish this ma'am's class, you have to wait for the another class. Okay? Continue, ma'am.
Yes, yes. Why this question of blue color? Who had this doubt of blue color?
No, it is not glass.
मैम मेटालिक जो साफ्स हैं वो ब्लू में नहीं जाएगा फिर.
No, metallic waste, that is only metallic implants, big ones like your metallic screw plates, orthopedics ka
Implants.
only that will go into blue. This general waste, all the sharp waste, metallic sharps will go into white. Is this clear?
Okay.
Please don't get confused. That is metallic implants like your hip and this thing and screw plates, big
Mm-hmm.
ones, right? Not the small ones.
Cooperative.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
But
Okay,
any
Mm-hmm.
sharps, metallic sharps will go into white.
okay,
Clear?
ma'am.
Ah. See, in case if this is glass syringe with the needle, where do you put?
White,
G-
You
Ma'am,
put it in
sorry.
white.
white.
White only.
मैम
Simple.
इसका
नीडल तो
जो
मैम व्हाइट में जाएंगी और
निडल है वो
ग्लास
व्हाइट
जो
में जाएगा और
सिरिंज
जो
है
इसका
नीड
प्लंगर है वो रेड
नीडल
में
सेपरेट
जाएगा.
नहीं होती तो वो white में ही जाएगी मैम.
You are not able to separate the needles. Put the
देन
entire
व्हाइट
thing
White.
into white.
देन मैम व्हाइट में जाएगा वो.
White में जाएगा. Okay. Okay. This is panchaproof container, and this is again yellow. All this syringe is suturing material will go into yellow, and vacuum tank will remove. Yes, vacuum tanner
Soiled है
इन
तो मैम
रेड
येलो
मैम.
और अगर
yellow.
treated है तो red.
You have to pre-treat. Okay, with autoclave. Is this clear?
Yes ma'am.
To summarize again, I will go run through. Yellow is for burning, so as far as possible, you should not put the blood bags. See, even if it's a lab waste, if you can empty the content and containers should go into the respective containers, what we feel. But that is because cumbersome, we are just keeping it. So that's the reason the law also said we must go in soon for the non-chlorinated plastic use in the medical field. I don't know to what extent that has been implemented, but that is the purpose. Red again to summarize, it's all recyclable waste, plastic and rubbers. White category is metal sharps. Blue is glass sharps and metallic body implants. So color coded bins, as I already told, yellow bin and yellow plastic bag. See again, no mix match. Yellow bin should have yellow plastic bags. Red bin should have red plastic bag. You can't have yellow bin and red. What will happen to the person putting? Will not know whether I should put yellow bin. Which one I should follow, container or the plastic bag? So if that is found, even the pollution control board will issue notice to us. Okay, that is a non-compliance. So yellow bin should have yellow plastic bag. It should have symbol, and it should be the thickness also I mentioned. No, it should be more than 50 microns. Similarly, yellow red, white is puncture-proof, tamper-proof, leak-proof container, and blue is now it is blue mark puncture-proof container or leak-proof container. So this is the thing. Any questions you have?
No ma'am.
No? Okay, tomorrow I'll continue. Okay, I'll just start. And all your bags should be 2/3 capacity filled only. And then we this symbol I told, biohazard symbol, and it should be handled with care. And label should be non-washable and prominently visible on the cover we carry and container we carry. And I think barcoding, these systems and all I'll be discussing tomorrow. If I think with this my categories of waste, that's it. Okay, very clear, right? Yellow is for infectious
Ma'am, just
waste.
one question.
Yes, please, sir.
Why the thickness should be more than 50 microns?
Sir, lesser than thin, usually it is not possible. They'll become, they are chlorinated plastics, sir, which are very less than. Non-chlorinated will
Oh,
not be
oh,
so less.
okay, okay,
So that is the thing currently guidelines is there.
correct.
Any other thing, practices, challenges you have in your color coding, in your segregation in your workplace? Because there are a lot of gray areas. You have glass, plastics, you have mix of infectious waste and plastic waste, infectious and the glass waste. Where to put? So
As
sometimes
you said, segregation itself is a problem. If the people are trained to segregate the waste, then half of the problem is done.
done. Exactly, sir. That's what I feel. That is the heart of our biomedical waste management. If we do our segregation proper, half the problem is done. The rest will fall in place. As I told telling, I'll just share that slide. 1 minute. Do you all agree attitude is an issue?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll just tell one story for you people. I think you know this story. I think it's very relevant for our biomedical waste, I feel. Let me search that.
Now, another issue about bio-waste management is most of the hospitals, they have outsourced the bio-waste management.
Why should
And
you outsource is your question, sir?
what I'm saying, the most of the hospitals, they have outsourced bio-waste management. Some contractor is looking after that.
Yes.
So the training is very, very important, and hospital has to ensure that the people who are getting training, they should have retraining in the
Yes.
hospital number of times. Then only they can ensure that the segregation and the other
Yes,
part
sir.
of this biospin can be
Very
done
truly said.
properly.
Anyway, sir, that is very clearly mentioned in the rules also. As an occupier of an healthcare facility, that is the owner of the hospital, whoever it is, MS or whatever it it's
But
his
what I
responsibility.
found, this is a gray area, and they get 2 to 3 days training for biowaste man, this housekeeping, as well as for this hazardous cleaning also, and they get just two
I
or three
think
days
for
training.
our waste handlers and nursing faculty, if possible, hands-on training if you can give,
Correct.
that will be helpful. And focus more on segregation and especially for a waste handlers, personal protective equipment, how to handle waste. That will be more useful.
And
You
moreover,
can tailor it.
their needle stick injury also they don't count, because it is not, they are not on the payroll. So
Correct.
whenever they project the compliance,
Hmm.
they are not showing that.
Correct, sir. Very true. I think it's something like it has become culture of our organization. Second, it's like it's a human tendency. If we are not monitored, we usually tend to not do the things. So it requires continuous monitoring and supervision. It has to be daily thing. Otherwise, we tend to not do. So just simply, I wanted to tell this. I think you all know this story, and I think this is very relevant for our waste management because nobody owns waste. There are four people, everybody, anybody, and somebody and nobody. There was an important job to be done. Everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about it because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody would not do it. It ended with that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done it. I think it's,
That's I think the key story for biowaste management.
it is very relevant, I feel. We doctors blame nurses or nurses blame the waste handlers or waste handlers blame the others or administrator, anybody. But it is responsibility of each one of us because we are living in an environment which we have borrowed from our forefathers. It's now we have to give our children the safe environment where we need to take measures to see that we give a good environment back to our children. Anyway, with this note, I will close my session. Tomorrow, we'll continue with this journey of how to and take this cycle completely together. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think you all need to stay
Thank you,
back.
ma'am.
There's another session to continue.
Involve your microphone is on.
Dear learners, your sir will join at 5 o'clock. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Ma'am has finished the class.
Hi, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, sir. Sudhanshu sir will join at 5 o'clock.
Okay,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
मैं तो को नहीं लवाऊंगी रे कोथड़ी में आया था ये सही है नहीं
फिर इसने पैर देखा है 2 साल लगे फिर सारी तुमने इधर की मैंने तय करके अलमारी में अरे न्यू ना जाइए